How's it going, everybody? This is Era and your captain here, bringing you another One Piece video. This is my tournament results from the sealed pack battle that I attended. Oh my god, it's so hard to get into. It kind of sucks it's only limited to 8 players, but makes the tournament go by fast. And this is the leader that I used just because he is pretty much king of the pirates. And we got the card that everyone is trying to win. We got Sabo. Look at that. Just beautiful. Beautiful. Great card. Love this artwork. And before we get started, I would like to reveal this one as well. I'm going to try to I'm going to be trying to collect all 3 pieces. Hopefully I can get the manga rare soon. Maybe I get lucky in pulling one in a pack in the future when the booster boxes are even lower in price. But other than that, here it is. This is the closest we can get to a manga art Sabo. Look at that. It's just beautiful. Might send this into grading. It is, I gotta say, this looks like a 10 when I looked at it. But anyway, let's get into the video. Let's show you what I ran. But let's get into the cards that I didn't run. This is what I pulled. And I'll give you, some tricks and tips on how to win a sealed pack battle if you're having trouble, if you never won one yet and you really want to win a Sabo. I could probably help you, or at least this video does help you. I pulled a lot of grade 1s and grade 2s. The thing is if you can see, I pulled Coliseum. Luffy is considered a Dressrosa type because of his effect. So I was thinking to run a bunch of Dressrosa cards for the just this effect alone. But I decided not to because when I looked at the effects, they weren't as good besides this card. I don't know why I didn't run it. And I should have ran more 5Ks. Should have ran this as well. But that's what I had. And if you wanted to know if I went first or second, typically I would like to go first in a sealed pack battle because the first attack is just so much good. It's so much better because turn 1 you get 1 Dawn. Turn 2 you're at 3 Dawn. Slap down a 3 cost body. You have an attacker ready. Your leader is ready to attack. You swing at your opponent's life. Your character is ready for next turn. Your opponent's at 4 Dawn. He has to play a character. And when he attacks, he's only attacking once. And whatever 3 cost card you pulled from your packs will be in your favor. And I'll show you what I'm running. So I ran 2 Coliseums for the Dressrosa types. But when I realized I wasn't running that much Dressrosa type characters, I kind of goofed up because I was like, that's not good because this card could have been dead in my hand. Didn't really draw into it. I ran 2. Weakness is an unforgivable sin. Great card for a 1 cost because your leader becomes a 6K during this turn, during the whole turn. And if you pull it from life, you can ramp 1 Dawn. Even better for you if you go first, or heck, even second, because now you're just catching up to your opponent in Dawn if you go first, and you have more room to play with your extra Dawn that you got. I ran Demolition Breath, great 4K. used it a lot. Nez Palm Cannon. It's a 3-cost with a 6k power, but never got to draw it. This card almost helped me win a game because that last round we were playing for the Sabo, and I had 5 Dawn open, and I calculated what my opponent's hand was. If he had a card that would minus me 2k, Happiness Punch or something, and his 2 cards were 2Ks, if I attach all 5 Dawn onto my 5-drop 7k Law, I should still have enough, even if he did that. And if I wanted to play it safe, I would have saved 5 Dawn and had 5. I would have saved up 5 Dawn open. My opponent's turn, he swings with the character, swings with another character, pop it, the attacking, and then rest his leader, stopping 2 attacks. And then he would have had 1 more attack, which I would have been easy to guard. It would have been easy for me to guard. And my last event is Gum Gum Red Rock. Never got to use it. And then for our 1-drops, 2Ks, really got to use her to set up my Demolition Breath. Help me in my last turn on defense, which was lucky. For my 2-drop, a blocker came in handy first round. And then for our 3-drops, we got 3 blockers. This card really helped me because it's not a once per turn, which is really nice. And my opponent accidentally played a 1-cost Sanji, I believe. And when I bounced it back in his hand, he played it back down, and I used its effect again when I was at 10 Dawn, so I was at 8 Dawn, and it just went back to his hand. Yeah, I gave him shield value, but at least I knew what it was, and it helped me waste a Dawn on his turn. And then for our other 3-drops, I ran these guys, these both yellows. If you ever pull these, you have to run them. Banish, early turn, early game. If you go first, boom, you already have this set up. Your opponent either wastes a 1k or a blocker, or, you know, heck, if you attach 2 Dawn, 6k, you waste a 2k shield off his hand early game, and it's just more favorable on your side because your opponent is really going to try hard to block this. 1 Dillinger, you know, get that 1 Dawn for my 1-cost Dawn event or counter event or whatever. This card as well, if your opponent's rushing you with low-cost body units, he'll be a 6k on attack. And then this card, since your character is a Dogs Pirate, you get to, for a cost of 1, so he's like a 4-drop, rest one of your opponents, 4 costs or less, set up 1 Dawn on your turn at the end of turn. So pretty nice. And then for our other 3 cost, 4 2Ks, we have our 4-drops here. We got a 4-drop 5k queen, only used it for the numbers. 2 daddies, you know, restand unit, very powerful, and its conditions are so easy to meet, so that's why I ran them. And then Usopp, just in case if my opponent has Dillinger or, you know, characters that are just a menace that are a 5 cost. And then for our 5-drops, I ran 4. I'm surprised I didn't run 5 or 6, especially since I wanted to go first. I'd recommend, depending what you pull, there's some cards that you have to run, but it's almost like a 4 of everything pretty much. Here's you got your 4 attackers. I'll break down the ratios if it helps you more at the end of the video. But yeah, 4 or 5 drops for that. If you go first turn, your Zoro, your blocker, and your 2 5-drop vanillas. I got to see this every game, and that 7k body is just so devastating, especially since your opponent is going to have to drop another vanilla and waste a turn, like not setting up his board with non-blockers, and he's just pushing for power. And if your opponent fails with its vanilla and then tries to stack up Dawn onto his leader just to swing at your big body, well, you have the cards to block it, most likely. And then our 6 drops, we ran 4 on play KO one of your opponent's characters. That's a 5 cost or less. So if he does his 5 cost to respond to my 5 cost, I have an answer just to blow it up. And then your 3 vanillas, if you go second, it's a great lineup if you go second. And then our Monkey D. Luffy for our big 8 cost banish. It's just too good. And here are our almost SRs and like bigger bodies. We got Sugar, very nice, even better since Luffy is a Dogs Pirate. Sanji, blocker and trigger from life, very nice, and it's a 4/5 drop. 4 drop 5k. King, if you go first, you get to play your vanilla, play your king, draw 1, and then your crocodile, your 2 healers. Luckily, I pulled 2 healers, but sadly, I never saw any of this, sadly. Saw this in opening hand, but had them all again because I felt like it was the right thing to do. Luckily, I made the right choice. But anyway, let's get into the breakdown. I'm pretty sure you want to see me explain the tips and tricks. So here is what you want to do. Really, realistically, you can't control how many 2Ks right off the bat. Always run all the 2Ks you can and all the blockers you can. Events, run the events that what you pull. I'd say at least run 1 or 2 of these if you pull them, because stopping 2 attacks, and if your opponent has 3 attacks coming, this is just going to save your life no matter what. So yeah, run the counters and event if you get lucky to pull them. But I'll explain my lineup just to help you more. There we go. Here it is. So if I go first, I have cards to play when I have 5 Dawn. Well, let's just slow this down. Let's not skip the 3 drops, but yes, I do have the 3 drops. These are just 2Ks, but I do have 3 drops that can attack. Usually I like to run 4/4, maybe 6, depending if what I pulled wasn't a lot of 2Ks or a lot of blockers or whatever. You know, get unlucky not pulling any of them, any of these important defensive cards. So I would at least run 4 attackers that are 3 drops, 4 5 drops, and 4 to 5. You know, it always depends what you pull, but at least minimum 4 drop 5k bodies. If you're going second, 4 6 drops. Again, if you're going second, helps you throw down 8k to respond to their 7k. But, you know, there are some times where you have a 5k and you have to respond to theirs with yours. So this is also good. Then your 8 drops, when you're going second. 7 drop. If you get maybe 1 or 2, you know, again, this could have been 3/8. I never would have pulled him. If I never pulled him, wouldn't run it. But I did, luckily. So there's your $7 turn, your $9 turn. And this is like the lineup I really like to run. At least four of each, like, curve on your curves, you know. Here's your curve right here, your 5 cost Dawn, your 5 cost characters, your 6 cost characters to respond to theirs. You know, you always want to have something ready for your opponent to respond to. And that's pretty much it. It's not really hard to win a sealed pack battle. You just gotta, like, think about, like, what would you run in your normal deck. Like, there's some decks, almost every deck out there runs a bunch of characters with non-counter, because big boss monsters have no counters. So let's stack up all the non-counter cards. Usually in a 50 card deck, it's either 11, 12, or less. And this, if I had more Dressrosa top, I really don't know why I ran this. But yes, this is what I had. Shouldn't have ran it. Should have just added more counter cards to help me. But yeah, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, I'm right in the middle almost. I want to stay at 8 to 12, somewhere between there. Like, let's just say, you know, you pull more cards that are just better than these, that have no counter, that are just boss monsters. Or cards like this that have specific requirements if your leader is a certain type, attribute, character, or whatever's, you know. But yeah, you want to keep your non-counters very low, 8 to 12 in a sealed pack battle. Remember, depends what you pull for non-counters that are actually good, that will work with your Luffy that's considered everything. But yeah, if I had an option, I would have changed these into another 5 drop and another 3 drop. That would be a great attacker, or any character that had a great effect that was synergized with your leader, that would be considered everything. And let's just show you what I pulled for, if you want to know what I got and be like, maybe if I pull 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers, I should be fine. So almost the whole ratios, now that I realize, 4, 4, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Luckily, I got 6 2Ks. But heck, 6 2Ks could have been... I could have got 6 blockers. Right now, I'm just rambling. So, but yeah. Run all the 2Ks. Run all the blockers that you can. Blockers save your lives. Save your life. Especially your characters. If your opponent is swinging with high numbers. But yeah, you would almost want to run 4 of each. 3. You want to run 3, 4, 3, 3. Oh, beep boop boop. 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. You pretty much want to run 4 of everything of each cost. So your 3s, your 4s, your 5s, your 6s, your 7s. Maybe not your 7s. Maybe 2 of those. 2 7s, 2 8s. You know, again, depending what you pull. But you want to keep it at that ratio even. So you can have your on-curve boss characters on either turn. If you go first or second. But yeah. Hopefully you found some great information in that rambling. Because I'm not a good explainer. especially in a sealed pack battle, because variance, really, just variance. That's all I can say at the end of the video while giving some advice to you with variance. Other than that, hopefully you win your Sabo in your sealed pack battle, and hopefully you got into one that's only limited to 8 players. Other than that, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, comment down below what you think of my strategy in sealed pack battles. And if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button if you hadn't already. Join the crew, join my pirate gang, and let's set sail on winning a bunch of tournaments together as a crew. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next One Piece video.